Thank you so much. I wanted to understand what is the plan to help our students with disabilities, because I think there was extensive discussion by some of my colleagues last year who discussed, different examples of jurisdictions in Virginia that have made substantial progress, perhaps greater progress than we've made in Fairfax County in recent years. And so I just wanted to understand, now that we're seeing this data 1 year later, has FCPS studied those other jurisdictions? Is there a plan in place to adopt their best practices? And what is that plan? And has it been articulated to the board, or will it be?
Yes, sir. So I think we're on slide 6, team, I believe. And one of the things, I think one of the goals was to make sure we had more students with IEPs taking SOL exams. And I believe that with 97% of our students taking SOL exams, that is definitely moving in the right direction, which would leave fewer and fewer students that are taking the VAP test or the VAP assessment, which that format also changed, right? It became, I believe, a multiple choice exam. But I'm going to let Ms. Huffman respond more specifically to the year-over-year question you're asking. Ms. Huffman?
We do have the increases for participation in SOL, as Dr. Reed pointed out, for students being able to access that grade level curriculum, as opposed to the numbers of students accessing the adapted curriculum for those subjects with stronger, more rigorous standards in terms of which students are eligible for the VAP assessment. And the improvement information in terms of year over year for the performance on those assessments also will be able to get you in a report for tomorrow's letter, that you'll be able to see the details on those breakdowns. But if there's a specific area that, a specific group or a specific area that you're interested, we can try to find those right now.
Actually, there were 2 data points I did provide, Mr. Dunn, so let me restate those. The 2025 VAP rates, which are different than the SOL rates, did improve in reading from 79 to 84%, which was a 5% gain, and the VAP math improved from 59 to 68% year over year, which was a gain of 9%.
I'm sorry, I'm certainly not disputing any of the positive data, and I applaud all the great efforts that have been made. I'm just trying to understand, one of my colleagues identified other jurisdictions in Virginia that were making more substantial progress over time. So I'm just trying to understand, have we studied those best practices? Are we importing them? And is there a plan, some kind of written plan? Because John Kenneth Galbraith said that which is measured tends to improve. And I do believe in plans. It worked for D-Day. It can work for school districts as well.
Yes, sir, I understand. Dr. Presidio, I know we certainly worked on executing a plan here. So Dr. Presidio, would you elaborate, please?
No, I appreciate the question, and we do collaborate with jurisdictions around the state on a regular basis. There's a network for special education administrators at the state. There's the Region 4, the Northern Virginia school districts that meet on a regular basis. But I think in terms of the plan that we're executing, the biggest piece that I would talk about is the 3-year inclusion plan that we have, working with national inclusion experts to really make sure that we're providing direct instruction and direct services to students with disabilities as often as possible, unless determined otherwise by the IEP team in the general education setting, with specially designed instruction and explicit instruction from some of our most trained educators in literacy, math, and science in these content areas. So we've been working really hard to provide professional development to our staff. It's rigorous. It's over 20 hours of professional development that staff members get with our national inclusion experts. They've been working with us for a little bit under a year right now, and we're phasing in changes to that service delivery model to be a more inclusive service delivery model over a course of 3 years in all 200 of our schools. So it does take time to turn that ship and make sure that both classroom teachers, administrators, and support staff in our schools have the support and the training needed to make the changes that we're asking them to make to both service delivery, instruction, and assessment. Additionally, we made changes to our curriculum to make sure that our students with disabilities, even if they're in a self-contained setting, have access to the same general education curriculum that students in the gen ed track have as well. and we're working really hard, in particular, in the area of literacy, to make sure that our reading plans and our reading approaches are really aligned with evidence-based best practices. So we do have a comprehensive 3-year plan really designed to bolster support and changes to services for students with disabilities.
Thank you. With respect to Hispanic students, multilingual learners, African American students who also tend to lag, same question. Is there a plan, or could a plan be formulated? Because, again, if there's no plan, and there can be lots of good efforts, but it can be difficult to coordinate. And I think just for us on the board to have oversight, we'd like to know that there are goals. What are those goals year by year to increase? We have the state goals, but those are they realistic? Are they not realistic? Looking at past efforts, what worked in the past, or what is working elsewhere in the state, elsewhere in the country, and then bring those in. I mean, it's kind of a component, a sub-plan of the strategic plan, which is kind of overarching, but just trying to understand if there's something written so that, you know, we can review that, so that we don't have a permanent and enduring gap in achievement. We want to close that. We want to end that, because if it's possible anywhere, if it's possible under any leader, I believe it's possible here, possible under your leadership.
Well, thank you. And this is what we worked on really a great part of the summer, was our multilingual learner plan. Dr. Ponce, do you want to elaborate on the work? Because we have a number of principals that also have these plan end goals written into their school plans. And do you want to bring up slide 5, please, Dr. Ponce?
All right, thank you very much. We have a 3 domain that we have been working with. The multilingual one is instructional support, scaffolding lessons, differentiation, and literacy across all content areas. I can elaborate a little bit more if you want. We have domain 2, that is language development. We have bilingual translation practices, ELD, there is targeted English language development material, and also dual language material that we utilize. And of course, socio-emotional and cultural support. This is very important, and we have been working across, I know my group, one of my sections in my team, working very tight in collaboration with Sloan team as well, the multilingual. We have been working with teachers, and we have been modeling as well. Personally, I have been going to several other schools and modeling some classes for them, especially in high school. Since I'm a math teacher, I have been working with how we should work with math with multilingual students. And I'm very pleased that we are moving on the right track. And we have also supplemental material for the students where they can access on their own language and have academic tutors as well. And I know very soon we're going to be utilizing AI as well, supplemented to support them.
So I want to thank you, Dr. Ponce. I want to add, last year was the first year we actually had supplemental literacy materials for our multilingual learners. We actually ordered that curriculum alongside Benchmark for our K-6 students. And 1 year isn't going to move all our students, but we believe one of the key parts of this plan, particularly in literacy, is the evolution of once a student has access to that supplemental curriculum in kindergarten, first, second, by the time they hit 3rd grade, we should see very different results, which is different than the first year in 3rd grade. We're not going to see as great, but that's a key part of the plan. But what I'm hearing is you would like a copy of the plan in the Friday letter.
Yes, ma'am. And is there one for African American and Hispanic students?
It's, well, on any of our multilingual learners, and wanting to make sure that